Hi everyone, and once again welcome back to Hobby World. Today I'm going to display the brand new catch fence and barrier system I have designed in a version 2 sort of, so it will fit with the pit wall up there, but it is usable on all kinds of slot car tracks in different scales and different sizes. So let's just dive in and take a look at this brand new product I have released on my Patreon today. First of all, it's released as several versions. We have a version that will be part of the welcome pack. Everyone who joins up, depending on when they join up, just if you join up, you'll have access to the welcome pack, which will include this. This is the straight barrier system where we have a 50mm, 100 and 150mm section that goes straight. There are the barrier section down here. It will include these small clips here that can be used in all of these nice holes up here. Attach them, just push them down like this. It's a bit difficult doing with one hand holding the camera, but like that. And of course another one in the other side up here, if I could just get a hand free to do that. These clips will help hold these. You can of course just use these barriers as they are. They look amazing. Looks like a real barrier here with the backside and everything, and there are holes in the bottom so you can attach it to your scenery or your track however you please. This is the catch fence, and the catch fence consists of several parts. First of all, we have a frame and then we have a net. In the welcome pack I will include this type of net. It looks really nice, this mesh. I like it. It's detailed. It has just the feel of a nice metal wire net, diamond shaped net here. But if you pay to be a member this month, or if you find this product in my store, you will also have access to these types of nets over here. So there are 5 different types of nets, and they can all be fitted into this system. On my pit wall over here, I used this version because the latest Formula 1 race I watched used fence like this, and I just thought this looks really great. So this net is easily attached to the frame by adding a bit of glue in all the sides, and it just fits snugly down there. So it will have to be glued in place before attaching it on top here. You do not even have to glue it if you use the pins. It will stick just pushing it down, these pins, but I'll recommend gluing it if it's for a permanent layout. And you can of course just change these as you go along if you decide on something else. That is, if you do not use super glue on it. On top of it, we have this debris catch fence, which I'm really proud of. It works the way that you have this part, I just call it debris catch fence frame. You will have to attach the wires on top. This is like the steel wires that goes along it. It'll have to be glued in place between these two parts. There is also a version where you can add LED strips. I have not completely finished that yet for all of the turn sections, but this version will allow you to attach an LED strip in the fence up here, so you will have light down over your track, and it's going to look incredible, but more about that next month. So far you will just attach the wires inside the frame here, and then you can just, as you did with the barrier down there, you can just attach it using a couple of pins on top of the fence, like you can see behind me right here. This looks really incredible. So it gives a realistic and nice feel to it. All of this, you see all of the straight sections, including this type of net and basic catch fences here, are included in the welcome pack for all that join up on my Patreon. What my members will get this month is the versions that turn, and this took a lot of work to make because I've made 3 types of turns, 45-degree angles, half of that and a quarter of that. So there are three different types of turn radii, and there is also something that turns outwards, creating an inner barrier and an outer barrier. I haven't printed any of the outer barriers yet, but they are there. So basically it's 6 different kinds of turns, and I've made them in the 50mm size and the 100mm size, and I'm probably going to add the longer ones, maybe going to add the longer ones at another time. But the general idea here is that the debris catch fence has these edges that is turned slightly, so the nets match each other, so you do not get a gap in between them. You can see it clearly here. And this is, I think this is 22.5 degree section, and it has this. The 45 degree will be more, it will be more visible, and then we have the smallest radius that will be much harder to spot. But it is designed so you can connect these both with other turns but also with straight sections without being able to see a gap up here. Everything fits perfectly, meaning that you can create an unobstructed line both of turns, straights, and everything that follows your track perfectly along just by deciding which ones of these barriers you're going to use, which turns, and so on. It's also fully integratable with the pit wall system over here, and it's just looking so realistic and incredible. One of the features I like the best about this is actually that the barriers, the frames up here for the catch fence, the wires and the net itself are all printed separately. That might seem like a bit of work, but the positive signs is that you can print all of this basically unsupported. So it's very easy to print. When I deliver the files, they come pre-aligned on the print bed like it should be. There is just a small exception to this. When designing these frames here, it can be printed like this, flat on the print bed, but sometimes it's better printing them like this and using a bit of support to get that part down here supported. I've had success with both things, but I just wanted to mention it. In this case, you will need to have a very clear understanding how your printer works and what works for it, because this is supportless printing, but it might not work for all, whereas this will probably work for all printers without any problems, but you'll have a bit of support, not much still. But when printing all of these parts separately, you can print them in the color you like them. For example, I really like the barriers in this grayish with a bit of metallic in it. This looks so, it looks like concrete. This doesn't need painting, it just looks great as it is. While I actually like the fences there in metal, but you could have gone with a way where you just made the frame in a dark gray, made it look like it was painted. The same with the net. Personally, I like the net in a metallic color, and I can just print it like this. You could of course also print everything in the same color and then just spray paint it and attach it. But it just gives such a nice and clean result. So I'm very happy with how this system turned out. You can see I have a couple of pieces over here, and they also just fit together here. But you could also add one of the straight sections like this to it right here, thereby creating where you have a mix of straights and turns, making the radius a bit smaller and making the turn look much more like it's a really rounded shape. It all depends on what you're going to use it for. But this is what I'm going to release this month, or with other words, today, and I think it looks incredible. So check out my Patreon. This will also be featured in my store, so if you missed the Patreon this month, you will be able to buy it through the store. And remember, if you join up as a member, you will get a severe discount code for all my previous releases, so you'll be able to get all of this and not just this stuff that's included in the welcome pack. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.